For those who don't know me, I'm Kled the Sped. I've been playing Marvel Rivals since it dropped. In Season 0 I achieved Grandmaster rank. Currently I'm Diamond 1 climbing. And a large portion of it come from playing Peni, so welcome to my Peni guide. Peni's left click shoots a web cluster that does some small AoE damage. It's also infinite ammo, so you never need to worry about reloading. The AoE aspect is really useful if enemies are tightly packed together. By hitting one enemy, you can sometimes splash and hit multiple. Now we get to arguably Peni's best ability, which is her right-click Cyber Web Snare. This ability allows you to shoot a web which can stun the target when you hit them and also place cyber webs on the floor. While you're in a cyber web, you heal over time, and you can also generate bonus health up to 800. The webs also give you bonus move speed while you're moving around in them. The bonus HP shield that you get, however, will deteriorate fairly quickly after leaving the webs. Peni's right click can also block projectiles, as you see in this clip. This includes Iron Man ult. The net can also be destroyed by projectiles if too many hit it. Peni's shift deploys a spider nest which covers the surrounding area in cyber webs and periodically spawns spider bombs. These bombs will automatically run and attack any enemy that steps on these webs. You can use both your right click and your F ability to expand the web. For a max of 3 webs placed down at once, placing a 4th web will delete the oldest one. Peni's E ability Arachno Mine places mines down. It's very quick recharge and it can also stack to 4. Each one of these mines does 100 damage, so I like to stack 3 on top of each other to make sure any squishy that touches it will die. Another thing to note is you can stick these on ceilings and walls, however I find it tends to be a bit unreliable when it comes to killing people running past if you stick it to the wall, so I'd prefer mainly to just stick to putting them on the floor. These mines are also completely invisible to the enemy if they're placed in your cyber webs, and on top of that they can't be destroyed by random stray damage like Iron Man shooting into the team, so try and keep them in webs at all times. The mines can still be destroyed just before they explode when they activate, so melee heroes like Hulk will often accidentally destroy them while swinging away. So I find it helps to try and use your right click to stun the target as they walk into the radius of your mines. Peni's F ability Cyber Bond allows her to zip to a pretty far location and tether herself to a cyber web. While tethered to the web, pulling too far away will cause the web to pull you back. You'll notice this only happens when you let go of the key that you're using to walk away. And as soon as that little indicator turns yellow, it means it has enough power to pull you back. You can also use this on ceilings to bungee jump off them over and over. If you use a movement key, this will allow you to fall all the way to the ground, which is a lot further than it would ordinarily let you pull if it was attached to the floor. You can also use all your abilities while you're in this tether. It's good for peeking around some corners sometimes, but for most of the time you just want to use the zipline and cancel the tether. Peni's passive wall crawl allows her to climb and cling to walls, however she can't run left and right while doing this. You will find in gameplay I quite often pair this with the F ability to quickly climb up walls. Peni's ult Spider Sweeper gives her a 450 health shield and allows her to enter a state where she can't use her main weapon. She gains a massive speed boost and starts rapidly spawning spider webs beneath her. She also essentially turns herself into a spider nest where she rapidly spews out spider bots that run along your webs and attack your enemies. Her left click in this form attacks enemies in front of you and knocks them into the air, while the right click spawns Arachno Mines, the exact same as those from your E. You can spawn up to 7 while in this ult form. One extremely important piece of advice when using this ult is to pair it with your spider nest, so that way your spider nest arachno bombs that it spawns run along the webs of your ultimate, and you have essentially double the DPS of your webs. You can notice the drastic difference in DPS in this clip. Peni's last ability, Armor Expulsion, is a team up with Venom. This allows you to enter a state where you do 50 damage every 2 seconds and also are immune to CC and have 50% damage reduction. This ability is really useful for taking space, denying enemy CC abilities, and also in a few combos that we'll get to later in gameplay. This is a pretty good example of how you want to be using your sling. In this game, you notice that I'm actually using it aggressively and dashing towards the enemy while they're trying to make an escape. Of course, as you move up, you want to drop your nest so that way you can keep control of the area. You'll notice this cloak and dagger was pretty low, so I used the web, left click, melee, symbiote combo to quickly insta-kill her. Yes, I know she was dead to Venom anyways, but I just wanted to show the combo. Then as the fight goes on, you'll notice that mid-combat I started expanding my web down the hallway with right clicks. You want to do this pretty much constantly so that way they get attacked by your spider bombs before they're in range of your nest. After being pushed back here and them dropping their support and punisher ult, I zip-lined out for safety and then ulted right as the support ult was going to end, making sure to cover the entire hallway with webs as I spider swept at their support. I planned to join up my nest with my ultimate here, but unfortunately it went down as I popped ultimate. In general, when you're ulting, I find it's most useful to spam mines unless you need to spider sweep for any particular reason. Like for example, someone's blocking your path or someone's low HP that you could kill them with it. So here's a clip of me just dying, and I want to show how to get back to the combat fastest. You keep spawning and despawning your nest while in between time ziplining. This allows you to get back to combat really fast, on top of also having your 800 health shield. In this clip I was getting the Peni very low, and because she wasn't paying attention to me, I started launching some mines in her direction and then ziplined in to finish her off with the Venom melee combo. In general, you want to place your spider nest in places where it's hard for them to destroy it without standing in the web. In this situation, I placed it in a corridor to hold the enemy back. In this clip, I was doing my thing, holding my point. Wolverine decided he wanted to rip me to shreds, so I used my symbiote to knock him off me as a self-peel tool. I then wasn't getting quite the healing I needed, so I quickly used my wall crawl and zipline to get myself out of that bad situation, using right click to heal myself up. Another thing you can do with the Venom symbiote team up is to trap people in corners, like this situation with the Wolverine. Although I didn't end up getting the kill on him, unfortunately, it's still a good tactic to use. In this clip I was setting up my spider nest in the choke when the enemy team teleported behind us. You'll notice I ulted early here. This was to deter the enemy from getting on point since we almost had it captured. Even though in this situation Wolverine was the only one to actually take damage from my ultimate, you'll notice these arachnomines stay after your ultimate. They're all over the point. So if you then web them up, it can be a very good way to deter enemies. Peni for the most part is a defense champion. However, she can be played on attack. And when I play on attack, I like to change my game plan quite a bit. Take an aggressive approach, taking high ground and putting your nest in fire up areas, often spawning it behind the enemy team or on top of supports. In this situation, after we seize the land, we can make it very hard for them to push back in by setting up our nest and mines in the choke points. Because it's a stun, you can cancel a lot of ultimates using Peni's right click. This does set their ultimate charge at 50, but oftentimes it's a lot better than your team getting hit by their ultimate. This is easiest to do against Doctor Strange, and since your stun only has a 3-second cooldown, it's very often that it would be up in time to do this. In general gameplay with Peni, I like to spam right click generally on cooldown, since you can stun a target multiple times, especially with tanks, like this Venom in this situation. However, this can come back to bite you if you don't have your right click up when they go to cast ult, like the Doctor Strange in the previous example. When you're in a spot like this where someone's destroying your nest, I like to right click over any mines I had set up within the nest's web, so that way they stay hidden and protected in case the enemy pushes into them. In this case, guarding that health pack in case anyone tries to take it. Because your ult gives you a fairly big shield, you can use it to save your life. Like in this case, where I was doomed to die to this Wolverine if I didn't cast it. In this situation, I used it to block a Storm ult. Yes, I did get healed by my Cloak and Dagger, which I didn't see at the time, but you get the idea. You can completely tank a Storm ult by using your ult into it.